updates, man. Let's try this again. This is the third time because the first one cut out, then the second one I wasn't able to get through. Now let's try this again. You know what I mean? So I was answering some questions, Q&A, because I haven't done this in over a year. So kind of just getting warmed up again. I don't know if I'm gonna. I don't. This might be my last live stream ever. You know what I mean? Because I'm not. It's not something I want to do for a long time. But I just want to. I'll do it once in a while. Um, So let me answer some questions here. I got some questions over here. The first question is my thoughts on the NBA season, the landscape of the league, and what's going on with it. Who do I think will win the title? What I think the finals will be? What I think the conference finals will be? All the good stuff. Um, and here's my thing, right? Here. What's up, Edwin? Here's my thing, right? This is what I think about what's going to happen in the NBA. I think, well, let's start with the conference finals. I believe it's going to be the Denver Nuggets against the Los Angeles Clippers in the Western Conference Finals. I think the Los Angeles Clippers, or no, you guys thought I was going to go with the Clippers. The Denver Nuggets are going to go back to the NBA Finals and face the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals. Yes, I think the Celtics are going to break through and win the East this year and make it to the finals against the LA Clippers. Against, why do I keep saying LA Clippers, man? The Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets. I firmly believe that. Now, who I think is going to win that series? I think that series will go seven, and I think the Celtics will win it in a tight series. Now, who I think will face the Celtics in Eastern Conference Finals? I think it's between two teams. I think it's between the Milwaukee Bucks and the New York Knicks because a fully healthy New York Knicks team is dangerous. And Bogdanovich, Burks off the bench, man. I just think that yeah, I just believe in the Knicks. I really like Brunson. Randall's good. I think they can get to the conference finals. But I think the Bucks, you gotta take the Bucks because they got Giannis and Dame. I know I don't trust Doc Rivers at all, but you get having them two guys on the team, man. But I think they'll lose to the Celtics in the conference finals. You think the Celtics will choke again? See, all right, I'll get to that, but because over the past few years, that Ben Simmons, I appreciate you. I do remember you from a few years back, by the way. But people say that, and I just want to know why. Why? Because everyone says the Celtics are going to choke this year, but the question I have is why? How are they going to choke, right? Because people talk about this Celtics team like they're the same team from a year or two ago. Listen, man, Marcus Smart is not our point guard. He's never a point guard for us. He was never going to do anything with us. He was, you know what I mean? He was never going to do anything, right? And we replaced him with Kristaps Porzingis, who is 50 times the player that Marcus Smart is. And the Celtics are basically unbeatable this year when Porzingis plays, right? And then we replaced Brogdon and with Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is so underrated, dude. Drew Holiday, his stats don't look fantastic. I mean, scoring wise, but you know what? He's done great for us on defense and just being that guy, that veteran, that leader. He's just been that great presence, that championship guy that's won a championship before. And listen, man, there's not Jaylen Brown doesn't have to do as much, so I don't think Jaylen Brown is going to turn the ball over 50 times like he did last year against the Heat. Um, so I believe in this year's Celtics team. I believe this year's Celtics team is different from from the years prior, and I think they'll get there. Obviously, it'll be tough. I mean, the East, there's a lot of good teams in the East, and I respect that. But I think the Celtics are I think they're due to finally break through this year. I think this year is finally the year that they get it done and win the whole thing. Um, and who are some sleepers in the NBA? Sleepers in both conferences, man. In the East, I think a sleeper, you got to go with Miami again. You got to go with Miami. Miami, here, I'm going to say this in the best way possible. I know Heat fans probably get mad at this, but I don't care about Heat fans, so it doesn't matter to me. The Heat are like that cockroach that you just wanna step on and kill and just get rid of it and just hopefully it just goes away, but they just don't go away. They just keep getting up, it keeps getting up, it keeps getting up. You know what I mean? You just wanna keep on you just wanna get rid of it with every ounce in your being, but it just keeps on getting up and it keeps on overcoming the odds. You know what I mean? It's just Spoelstra is a wizard. You know what I mean? So the Miami Heat are obviously they're always a dark horse to make the finals. They made it last year. I believe there's some teams that are better than them in the East this year, though. So I don't think they're going to get it done this year, but they're definitely a sleeper. They're a dark horse. And in the Western Conference, 2 weeks ago, I would have said Dallas, but Dallas they've fallen off a cliff, so it ain't Dallas. I think I think it's the Lakers. I think the Lakers are the dark horse in the West. I think because honestly, I think the Lakers can beat every team in the West except for the Denver Nuggets. I mean, I think they can. I think they could beat every team. Um, because they're a bad matchup for a lot of teams in the West. Like if Oklahoma City and the Lakers faced each other in the first round, I would take the Lakers, and I think the Lakers win that series convincingly, just because I think the Lakers' size is way too much for the Oklahoma City Thunder to deal with. So, with that being said, I just think the Lakers are just yeah, man. I really like the Lakers. I love the Lakers in that series. I think they're I really like them. And Golden State, I don't think Golden State's that good this year. I mean, they lost by 50 the other night to the Celtics. I just don't believe in the Warriors this year. I don't think they're going to do anything special. But yeah, man. Okay, I got another question right here. Where are my thoughts on NBA media, NBA Twitter, NBA YouTube? Let me preference this. I think there's a lot of good NBA people out there before I say this. Like, I think there's some really good Twitter accounts on Twitter. I think there's a lot of great YouTube accounts on here that talks about basketball. But I'll just say this right now. There's a lot of stupid people out there. I see dumb takes every day on X and on this and on YouTube. People see, I think people set the game of basketball back with some of these takes that I see every day, man. I mean, it's just like it just boggles my mind. I mean, how people could be so dumb. Because like, here's my thing. I could tell who watches games and who doesn't watch games. You know what I mean? Like, if you say a take and you don't watch the game, then why are you even making a take and making yourself look like a dumbass? You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. You cannot make takes on Twitter that you don't know anything about. You know what I mean? That's just stupidity. And I just think they make themselves look like idiots. And I think there's a lot of smart people out there. I really do. But a lot of people don't use their brain when they talk about basketball, man. They anymore, the NBA is so narrative driven and it's so just people just want drama and it's just there's a lot of it's a loser's mentality. People don't watch games. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy some of the takes that I see, man. And then the media. Oh, Colin Cowherd is a dumbass, right? Colin Cowherd talked all the smack today about the Celtics because they lost one game to Cleveland when they won 11 straight games, and they didn't lose for over a month, but they lose one game to Cleveland because some guy named Dean Wade. I've never heard of a guy named Dean Wade before until last night. Hit like 8 threes in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? And they couldn't miss. And then yeah, he was talking about Tatum and saying that, you know what I mean, Tatum isn't like he talked about the last shot that Tatum did and saying that, well, Michael Jordan, LeBron James wouldn't have taken that shot. Well, first of all, why in the hell are you comparing Jason Tatum to LeBron James and Michael Jordan in the first place? That's stupid. Second of all, it was a bad shot by Tatum. Tatum should have got it to Porzingis in the post. I mean, I agree. I mean, but Colin Cowherd and people on here, I'm not going to say names, but people on here and Colin Cowherd and ESPN, If the Celtics would have won that game by 25 points last night, let me ask you people in the chat, do you guys think they would have talked about the Celtics today? Seriously. Do you guys think anyone would have ESPN, Fox, you think they would have talked about the Celtics today? No. Did they really talk about the Celtics after beating the Warriors by 50? No. I mean, so these people, these bottom feeders, like, just literally sit there and just wait for the Celtics to lose a game. You know what I mean? And then they come out, and then I see all these hot take videos about why the Jays won't win a title. You know what I mean? Colin Cowherd calling the Celtics frauds. You know what I mean? Mike Greenberg on ESPN saying that he would take the Bucks right now over the Celtics in a series just because they lost one game, and then it's just the media, man. They just have some type of agenda against the Celtics, and it drives me crazy. I mean, when the Celtics win, there's peeps. No one talks. I mean, literally, you don't hear nothing. But when the Celtics lose, however, oh man, you know what I mean? Ooh, they come out of nowhere. You got this guy making a video, this guy making a video, this guy making a tweet, this guy's putting some in his YouTube community tab. You know what I mean? It's just they all come out of nowhere. They're like vultures. You know what I mean? They just come out and just ugh. But yeah, man, getting off the Celtics though. Just in general, I think there's a lot of there's a lot of takes that don't make any sense. Uh, Yeah, man, they prey on their downfall, and and that's not how we should be talking about basketball. We shouldn't be doing it like that. And I think that's stupid. I think we should be breaking the game down a different type of way than that. You know what I mean? I disagree with that. With that thinking. I just think that's stupid. I think there's a lot of jealousy out there. To be honest with you, listen, man. There's only one other franchise that has 17 titles. I mean, I understand why other fan bases are butthurt and mad, and you know what I mean, and why we draft so well and trade so well. So I get it. I get why there's frustration out there from other fans. You know what I mean, and they're all salty about how well the Celtics ran and wish that they were ran as well as the Celtics are. But I mean, it is what it is, man. Man, you're gonna get me fired up. This gonna be. I didn't want this turned to a Celtic stream. You know what I mean? But ugh, yeah. But my thoughts on it, man. I just think there's a lot of smart people out there that say dumb stuff and just set the game of basketball back. Okay, so by the way, I got questions right here, but you guys in this YouTube chat, man, this is really a Q and A. You know what I mean? That's what this is. This is a Q and A. So frick, man, shit. Give me questions. You know what I mean? Like I want to be on here for a while. So go ahead, man. I got questions right here that to the left of me. But if you guys want to send me questions, I mean that's fine too. I'll answer them. Um, but getting back to this question right here. Okay, this is a weird one because I'm an NBA channel. I don't really talk about stuff like this. But what's your thoughts on Aiden Ross? What are my thoughts on Aiden Ross? I think he's smart. I think he's innovative. I think he's creative. Um, but to me, he comes off as a douche. I don't know him. I never met him a day in my life. I'm just going off based off what I see. I mean, he just comes off like a douche to me. He comes off like an arrogant douche. I'm sorry. And he comes off like a snake in the grass to me. I mean, I'll preference it again. I've never met him in my life. I'm just saying what I've seen. I mean, yeah, he comes off like a snake to me. I wouldn't trust a guy like that, to be honest with you. Um, that's just the gut feeling on him, to be honest with you. Uh, who would I who? Okay, I got another question right here. Okay, let me see this real quick. Uh, who would be your dream? Who would you love to debate? Um, well, there's a lot of people I'd love to debate about basketball, to be honest with you. Um, I think I would love to debate Stephen A. Smith. I know that one's unrealistic, but I'm just saying. I think Stephen A. Smith, who's an entertainer more than a guy that breaks stuff down. I think Stephen A. is a loudmouth, which, by the way, is good. I mean, for him because that's how he makes his money. I mean, he's an entertainer. Um, I would love to debate Pat McAfee. I think Pat McAfee's really good. Um, but I wouldn't mind getting into a debate with Pat McAfee. I think I could take Pat McAfee in a debate. Um, but YouTube wise, I got three names. Um, Ticket TV, and if you're an NBA YouTuber, you have some type of feelings about Ticket TV. Here's my thing, right? Ticket TV, I'll tell you this. He was actually one of the main reasons why I started a YouTube channel. To be honest with you, I think I have respect for Ticket, man. I mean, he's a great entertainer. Um, I think he has smart takes at times. And he's a draw. He gets people talking. I mean, I just think Ticket is a guy that I would love to debate. But a couple years ago, I have kind of a sour taste in my mouth from Ticket TV, though, and here's why. Because a couple years ago, I went on his channel. He was making a I forget what video it was, but he was talking about something, and I respectfully disagreed with him in his chat or whatever, and he blocked me and he called me an idiot. You know what I mean? And ever since then, man, I just had this sour taste in my mouth, and I just want to. I would love to debate him. You know what I mean? That'd be a fantastic debate. I think I would love to. I would love to debate Ticket TV, just because you know what I mean. I think he's great. I think he's fantastic, but I would love to debate him in a debate. Um, and I would love to debate Chilltown. I think Chilltown would school me in a debate, to be honest with you. But I love Chilltown. I think he's fantastic. I think he breaks the game down really well. Not even to really debate. That's just someone I love to talk to about basketball. I think he's fantastic, and I think he breaks it down really well. Um, I just, man, I have a lot of respect for Chilltown. I think he's fantastic, and I think he's a guy that I think he's more Chilltown. That's more the people that we need in the NBA community. Less trolls, less people trying to get their fake ass narratives and agendas off, and more people like Chilltown who are objective and actually break the game down well. You know what I mean? I think that's what we need. Um, More so in the NBA community than people that just say dumb stuff and just make narratives and agendas for no reason. That's more so what we need. Um, and God, I love the debate just because I think he's most overrated YouTuber on NBA is Legend of Winning. I think Legend of Winning, I find him obnoxious and annoying, and that's someone I would love to debate. Because Legend of Winning, I mean, I kind of like Aiden Ross. He to me, he comes off as arrogant and just a douche. I mean, that's just someone I would love to just humble in a debate if like we ever got the chance to. Obviously, probably not going to happen, but never say never. Those are just three guys I would love to debate. Um, uh, man. Um, okay, I got more questions here. What do I like besides basketball? Um, I love the NFL. I think the NFL is fantastic. Um, Obviously, I was a little ticked off about the Taylor Swift Travis Kelce media coverage. I thought it was obnoxious and absurd, a lot of it, and I thought it took away from the game. To be honest with you, the playoffs or whatever. But the NFL, man, I'm a Steelers fan. We're waiting to see what's going to happen with the quarterback situation in Pittsburgh. Kenny Pickett, you know what I mean? Will he be the starter? Will they trade for Justin Fields, sign a Russell Wilson? We'll have to see. But that's my what's my the Steelers. I'm a Steelers fan. Um, Black and yellow, baby. I believe black and yellow Steelers. I love the Steelers. And you guys, listen, man. You guys are gonna. Some of you guys are gonna laugh at this, but I don't care. I'm a WWE guy. I love the WWE. I think it's fantastic. I think it's as good as it's ever been. And if you don't watch wrestling, I would recommend watching it because it's really good right now. WrestleMania is going to be starting soon. It's too bad that CM Punk got injured because CM Punk is my favorite guy. I mean, he got injured. Um, he was gonna he was probably gonna win the world heavyweight title at Mania. What quarterback do I think the Steelers should get? I think the Steelers should go get either Justin Fields or Russell Wilson. That's what I think they should do. I don't like any quarterbacks in this year's draft for the Steelers. And I really don't want anyone else. I mean, there's rumors that they might sign Ryan Tannehill. I'm not a really big fan of that because Ryan Tannehill is old. You know what I mean? What kind of, he's a statue in the pocket. Not a huge fan of that move at all. So, and Russell Wilson. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Russell Wilson either, but I think he'd be an upgrade over Kenny Pickett. I think Fields got a lot of upside. Justin Fields is my number one target, though. I think Justin Fields is a guy that Steelers should go get, just because I think he got a lot of untapped potential, and I think he could be good. So I'll go get him. Knowing my Steelers though, they're probably going to stick with Kenny Pickett, which is we'll have to see. I mean, I was a big Kenny guy when he came out, so we'll just have to wait and see, man. Okay. Damn, only one person in here. Well, I think you guys are going to take Caleb Williams. You know what I mean? Caleb Williams. Here's my thing about him. People say he's gonna be like the next Mahomes, and he's gonna be this, he's gonna be that. Um, I don't know, man. I don't like the vibes that I get from Caleb Williams. You know what I mean? I don't. I'm not necessarily a big fan of his. Like, I think he'd be good. Again, he just, to me, I don't like arrogant people. He just comes off as cocky and arrogant to me. I mean, I just don't believe that he's you know, I don't believe that he comes off right to me. I mean, um, I think he'd be really good. Believe me, I think the talent's there. I think he'd be good. Um, I love Marvin Harrison Jr., dude. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. will be the best receiver in the NFL within like 2 years. Marvin Harrison Jr., I'm telling you this right now, he will be the best wide receiver in the NFL. I mean, I'm very high on Marvin Harrison Jr. Very high on him. I think he's going to be really good. Um, I really like him. Uh, okay. Okay, I got another question right here. Who's my favorite player in the NBA besides Tatum? Well, I don't even know how you know it's Tatum, but it's Tatum. But my second favorite player in the league, that's tough, man. Because I like a lot of players in the league. I was always a KD fan. I mean, I like the way KD plays. I was always a KD guy. Um, I'll tell you the truth, man. I really like Wembyama in San Antonio. Yeah, man. Victor Wembanyama could be in the GOAT debate when his career's over. I'm dead serious. This guy got a chance to be the greatest of all time. If the Spurs put the right pieces around this guy, I truly believe he could be the greatest of all time because he could do everything. Dude, every time I look at him and watch him play, he's a freaking alien out there, man. He's must watch for me. I mean, I always put on League Pass to watch him. He's just so electrifying. I just really like watching him play. I think he got a chance to be special, special. You know what I mean? I would say Wimbyama after Tatum. To be honest with you, I'm very high on Victor Wimbyama. Um, I just yeah, man, I'm a big fan of his. Let's see here, man. Do I got any more questions? Looking. I know, man. Wemby's gonna be freaking scary, dude. I mean, he's only gonna get better. I mean, that's the crazy part about him. Um, he's a guy that's only gonna get better. Um, oh, I got one right here. Who's the most overrated player in the NBA? See, oh man, because overrated, that's hard. A guy that I think is pretty overrated, man. I gotta really think about that. Who is the most overrated player in the league? Oh boy, oh boy. Who do I think is the most overrated player in the league? Hmm. Hmm. I'm kind of stuck, guys, to be honest with you, because it's like Zach Levine, that's a good one. I've always thought Zach Levine was overrated. I know I was never sold on him, so I agree there. I think, to be honest with you guys, I think most overrated player in the league probably has to be dramatic pause. Oh man, I think I think a guy that could be overrated is Tyler Hero because I don't know if he's most overrated, but that's the guy to come up with because Tyler Hero, all he can really do good is score. I mean, Tyler Hero doesn't do anything else that good. The only thing he can do is score. He puts up big score numbers, but like I think the Miami Heat be better off if they traded Tyler Hero. I'm just gonna put that in front street right now. I think the Miami Heat, if they actually want to win a title, I think they got to trade Tyler Hero because I don't think he's a guy, especially next to Rozier, that can help them win a title. To be honest, he scores. He's a good scorer. Don't get me wrong, but I think he's overrated. Um, I think another guy that could be overrated by some, and to me, is I was gonna say SGA, but SGA is so good. I don't want to say that SGA is overrated. I mean, he's really good at what he does. Um, I always thought Paul George was pretty overrated. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say Paul George because I'm seeing some guys, some younger guys on like Twitter. Like I'm seeing quotes about younger prospects that are like in high school and just going into college, and Brandon Miller talking about Paul George was the GOAT or something like that. They were saying Paul George is like the greatest player of all time. It's like what? Like people, I can't believe there's people with brain cells that actually think that Paul George is the greatest player of all time. Like I get his skill set. I think that's what they mean, but still, man, to say that Paul George is the greatest of all time is like what? Like 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 be serious, man. You know what I mean? Like so unserious. So I'd probably say Paul George just because, man. I just uh, most under okay. Who's the most underrated player in the league? That one just popped up. Um, Most underrated is pretty easy to me. It's Derek White. I thought Derek White should have been an All Star this year. I think Derek White does a lot on both sides of the ball for the Celtics. I think he's their unsung hero. He's clutch. He makes the right play. He's great in the pick and roll. I mean, he's a great defender, great on ball defender, can block shots. So I think Derek White's the most underrated player in the league. Um, to me, he's most underrated. To me, um, just because I don't think he gets quite enough respect for everything that he does on the court for the Celtics. Um, And I know that's just because people hate the Celtics, but it is what it is, man. I think Derek White, if you watch him play, you're like, yeah, this guy's an all star in this league. At least I believe so. So yeah. Um, and okay, will LeBron win another championship in his career? I'm gonna say no. I don't think LeBron wins a title I don't think LeBron wins another title in his career. I think he caps out at 4. I think he'll play a few more years in the league, but I don't think he'll ever quite get over the hump and win a title. I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't see it. I just don't see it happening. So yeah, I'd probably say that. I'd probably say no to LeBron winning another title in his career. I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to finish his career with the Lakers, and quite frankly, we got all these young teams in the West coming up, man. I mean, I think the Lakers window's really, really tight. I mean, I think it's like this year, maybe next year at most. But listen, man, you got young teams like Oklahoma City, Minnesota. Denver's not going anywhere. Memphis will be back next year with Ja Morant. You know what I mean? So the West is only going to get harder and harder. So I don't think the Lakers and LeBron are going to win another title. I think LeBron will retire at 4 championships. By the way, if it ages poorly, blah 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 blah, I might make a short about this, but yeah, I don't think LeBron is gonna win another title the rest of his career. That's just my gut feeling. Um, I know they're gonna love that. If LeBron wins the title, they're gonna come back to it and say, "Oh, this aged so poorly." Oh, but I don't care. Okay. Let's see here. Any more questions? Any more questions? Um, looking. Um. Oh, here's a good one that just popped up. If the Dallas Mavericks miss the playoffs this year, will Luka Doncic request a trade out of Dallas? Um, Here's my answer to that. I think Luka. I don't think he's going to finish his career in Dallas. I think he'll definitely go on another team. Um, but but do I think he'll request a trade this upcoming off season? Probably not, because I think they're going to fire Jason Kidd. They're going to hire a head coach, a new head coach, I think. And I don't know if they keep Kyrie though. I think they might look to shop Kyrie in the off season because I don't think Luka and Kyrie work that well together. I mean, obviously the offense is good, but defensively, dude, it's a mess. It's a mess. I mean, it's so easy to score in the Mavericks with that backcourt. Luka's a horrible defender. He's terrible on defense, and Kyrie's not. Kyrie's never been a good defender. So I just think that defensively wise, I think they got to break that up. I believe. So to answer that, I'm going to say no. I don't think Luka demands a trade this offseason, but in the future, I believe he will. I believe he'll get the Dallas Mavericks like one more year to do something. But I mean now they're on thin ice, man. They really are with Luka. Braun should have stayed in the East for more chips. I don't know if I don't think it would have mattered. To be honest with you, I think he'd still be at 4 if he stayed in the East. I don't think he would have gotten any more. That's just my opinion. Okay. Any more? Ooh. I'm looking. Oh, here's another Celtics question. If Jason Tatum wins a championship, where does that put him in all-time Celtic category? I definitely think he'll be better than Paul Pierce when his career's set and done. So I think if Jason Tatum gets a title this year and wins the Finals MVP, I think he'll solidify himself as a top 5 Celtic for sure. Um, and I think he'll finish his career as a top 3 Celtic ever. I think he'll be in the Bird and Bill Russell category. I think he'll be in that area if he wins a title. Because look at what Tatum's done in his young career. Tatum's only, what, 26 years old, right? 25, 26. I don't quite know. But he's young still, and he's accomplished so much already. I mean, it's actually absurd how much Tatum's accomplished already in his young career. And really, the only thing that Tatum hasn't done is win a title. He's literally go look at his resume. He's literally done everything else. First team All NBA, All Star Game MVP, average 30 points a game. Blah 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 blah. I can go on and on and on and on and on. First Celtic to ever average 30 points a game, I think. So, yeah, he's done a lot, man. Tatum has. I just think that Tatum, if he gets a title this year, I think he'll solidify himself as a top 5 Celtic of all time already, just based off his resume. I mean, it's absurdly stacked. Um, let's see, another question here. We got okay, looking more for more. Okay, question about the Clippers. Oh, this is a good one about the Clippers. If James Harden and Paul George win championships, what does that do for their legacy? I think if James Harden, let's talk about James Harden first. I think if James Harden wins the NBA championship, I think he moves up to, I think he surpasses Dwayne Wade as all-time shooting guard if he wins the NBA championship. Um, I think he definitely surpasses D Wade. Um, and by the way, you want to know most overrated player in NBA history? I think it's Dwayne Wade. I could talk about that another time or now. It don't matter to me. I think Dwayne Wade's extremely overrated. Dwayne Wade had it made for him in Miami, dude. He had it made. He had Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra. He had Shaq. He had LeBron. He had Chris Bosh. Dwayne Wade had so many stacked teams, dude. Like, and honestly, man, Dwayne Wade played with so much talent. It's crazy how much talent he got. He was blessed and fortunate to play with. I think he's most overrated just because of that. I just think he had stacked team after stacked team, and anytime, let's be honest, guys. Anytime that Dwayne Wade didn't have enough, like there was a lot of lottery seasons and like being the eighth seed in the playoffs before Shaq got there, before LeBron got there, before Chris Bosh got there. There was a lot of low seasons for the Heat, and those were led by Dwayne Wade. So I think that Dwayne Wade is the most overrated player ever. I mean, but that's my take on it. I firmly believe that. Um, okay. Um, but James Harden, what would that do for his legacy? I think that'd make him a top three shooting guard of all time. Um, I think Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant are the two best shooting guards ever. So I think top three. I think he could be number three if he gets a title for sure. Um, just based off of everything he's done in his career. So I would Harden would to me solidify himself as the third best shooting guard ever if he won a title. And Paul George, what would do for him? I don't think we really do anything for Paul George. I think we already know what Paul George is with or without a championship. I mean, I think it would help his legacy. I mean, I think it would maybe move him up a couple spots all time, but I think that's about it. I don't think it's really gonna do that much for his legacy, to be honest with you. I think we all know what Paul George is. I mean, he's a Robin. I mean, so I think Paul. I look at Paul George kind of compare him to like Scottie Pippen. I know Scottie Pippen won 6 titles, but that's what he is to me. Scottie Pippen was never Batman. He was always Robin. That's what Mike Paul George is to me. He's always a number two. He's not a number one guy. Um, I think it would help his legacy though. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it would like shatter like move him up so many spots all the time or anything like that. Um, the Milwaukee Bucks. What I think about the Bucks. What I think about Doc Rivers. What I think about Giannis and Dame. Giannis is having probably his best season ever this year. Dame's been heating up recently. I don't trust them though. I don't trust Doc in the playoffs. Dame, go look at his numbers. He's gotten worse as the playoffs go on. Every time he made deep runs in the playoffs, his shooting splits and all that always went down. So I don't know. Um, So yeah, man, I think the Bucks are really good. I think they could beat every other team in the East except for the Celtics. I don't think they can beat the Celtics in a 7 game series, but I think they could beat every other team. You're definitely not winning too much with yeah, exactly, man. You're not winning anything with Paul George as your number one option. I mean, Oklahoma City tried making him the number one option the year before he went to the Clippers, and they lost in 5 games to Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum and Nurkic. You know what I mean? Like they lost to five to that team with him as number one option. So I think yeah. Yeah, Doc was always money in the regular season. You know what I mean? And here's my thing about Doc Rivers. I'm gonna go on a rant right here. That big three Celtics team only won one championship with KG, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce. I could make a legit argument right now I think Doc Rivers held the Celtics back from winning more championships. I really do. Because you look at it back then, late game offense in the playoffs was stagnant. You know what I mean? And they made series. I'm just looking back at it because I have my computer right here in front of me. Like they won 6 and 7 games with a lot of teams that they shouldn't have won 6 or 7 games with. They should have smashed a lot of these teams that they played back then, but you know what I mean, they let the series drag on. They blew a 3-2 lead to the Lakers in 2010. They should have won that series. You probably could have said they probably should have won in '09 if KG didn't get hurt. They definitely would have won that year. But I'm just saying, Tom Thibodeau was right there as the assistant coach, and that's Doc Rivers. I think if Thibodeau is the coach instead of Doc Rivers, I say this all the time. I think the Celtics would have won another title if Thibodeau was the head coach instead of Doc Rivers. That's just me. I think Doc Rivers got carried by that team. I really do. I think time has proven that that's the case, that the talent carried him to that championship and probably held that talent back from winning another one. That's just me. But yeah, man, that's what I think, for sure. Um, okay, let's see what else is here. These are good questions I'm getting, man. I'm really impressed with a lot of these questions I'm getting. I'm getting a lot of great questions tonight. What do I think? Okay, hold on. Your question's kind of weird here. It's worded weird. Let me try wording it myself. What do you think? How do you think the NBA media, NBA Twitter can get better by watching games and stating facts instead of trying to drive bullshit narrative and agendas? That's how I think it can get better. To be honest with you. That's the way it gets better. Honestly, that's the simple fix. Watch the games. You know what I mean? Instead of creating these narratives that don't exist. Watch the games. That's what I say. That's how it gets better. I still can't believe Colin Cowherd today, dude. Colin Cowherd made me sick with his take today. Like literally, that shit was fucking embarrassing. I mean, he embarrassed himself on TV, and he's getting freaking cooked on Twitter right now. It's fantastic. Um, okay. Let's see here. Oh, we got a wrestling question. Okay, we got a wrestling question. Should Cody Rhodes finish his story at WrestleMania 40? Should Cody Rhodes finish his story at WrestleMania 40? The Rock is back, right? And I know they want to build that Rock Roman match eventually. They're going to do that match. I believe yes. I think Cody Rhodes should finish his story at WrestleMania. I think he should win the championship. Do I think he's a bigger draw or a bigger star than Roman Reigns? No, but I think storyline purposes, I think that could make him to just as big of a star as Roman Reigns if you let him get that victory. So yeah, I think Cody Rhodes should finish his story at WrestleMania. I think he should win the title. I think they should do it. I mean, because I think he'd be a good champion. So yeah, I agree. I think he should finish his story. Okay, that was a good one. That was kind of a curveball. Um, and yeah, man. All right, hold on. Maybe we got a few more because I got questions on my computer too. So I know there's not a lot of people in here. Huh, that's interesting, but it is what it is. Whatever. Don't really bother me. Um, okay. What's my top? Who are the 3 best players in the world to me? And who's the MVP? I'm surprised I didn't get this question earlier. So my top 3 players in the world, Jokic one, definitely Jokic one. I mean, I think Giannis is 2. I think it's Jokic and Giannis 1, 2. That third spot's interesting, man. The third best player in the world. You could give it to 3 guys. To be honest with you, you can give it to Embiid. You could give it to Luca, or you can give it to SGA. You can give it to one of them 3 guys, and I don't think anyone would really complain that much. Um, the third best player in the world, man. I'd probably say, shoot, man. Regular season, it's definitely Joel Embiid. Um, top three players in the world, though. I think it's between Luka and Embiid. I would probably give the slight edge to Luka, though. But it could be Embiid. Yeah. Thoughts on the Lakers? I think the Lakers are a dark horse this year. I think the Lakers, if they get the right matchups, could go far in the playoffs. I think they can definitely beat Oklahoma City in the first round. The Thunder don't match up well with them at all. I think the Lakers can easily beat Oklahoma City. And I think if they get past Oklahoma City in the first round, which I think they will, then they could beat anybody except for Denver. I think Denver's the only team the Lakers can't beat. I think if the Lakers face anyone else, I think they got a chance of winning. I think they got a chance to win. Celtics winning title, yes sir. I think they beat Denver in 7 games this year. Is D'Angelo Russell garbage? I wouldn't call him garbage, but he's not a trustworthy guy. I don't trust him in key spots in the playoffs. And the Lakers clearly don't because the other night when they played Denver, they benched D'Angelo Russell late in the game. So they clearly don't trust D'Angelo Russell in those spots. So no. I don't think he's garbage, but I wouldn't trust him in the playoffs. I don't think he's a good playoff guy. If that makes any sense. Okay, let's see here. I got oh, the MVP. Who's the MVP this year? Oh man, this is hard. Well, actually, it's not hard. Nikola Jokic is the MVP. Yeah, I know I'm a Celtics fan, and people have been trying to push the Tatum MVP narrative. I don't think it's Tatum. You know, I would love for it to be Tatum. I don't think it's him. I think it's Nikola Jokic. I think Jokic is the MVP for sure. Yeah, I think it's Jokic. I believe it's Jokic. Um, okay. Oh man, this question's funny right here. What's my favorite candy bar? Like what? My favorite candy bar? Okay, the Snicker bar. It's the Snickers. You can't go wrong with a Snicker bar, man. It's the Snickers for sure. Can't go wrong with a damn Snicker bar. That was a weird one though, but whatever. I answered it. Uh, if LeBron somehow, some way wins an NBA championship before he wins one more before he retires, does that solidify himself as the greatest player of all time? I hate this discussion. I really do. Like it drives me crazy discussing the goat debate because I hate discussing it. Honestly, it's kind of it's a waste of time to me type of topic. But I will always say that Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time. That's just me. I'm a Jordan guy. I think Jordan's the best ever. Um, but LeBron got a good shot. If LeBron gets another one, I think that's probably solidify him as the second best ever. But it's just hard for me to put anyone ahead of Jordan. It really is. It's hard. I mean, so I'd probably say no. But that's just my opinion. That's why I don't like talking about the goat debate because it's just it's an opinion. You know what I mean? Because I can feel like Jordan's the goat. You guys watching right here can feel like LeBron's the goat. You guys can feel like Hakeem Olajuwon's the goat. You guys can feel like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's the goat. You guys can feel like Magic Johnson's the goat. Kobe Bryant's the goat. You know what I mean? Like it's subjective. You know what I mean? So the goat debate, I would say, is the most overrated topic ever. To be honest with you. That's how I feel Simmons. I don't think LBJ is ever topping Jordan. I don't think that's ever happening. So I agree. Um, okay. Let's see here. Any more questions? Looks like we got about 2 or 3 more right here. Damn. There's some good questions here. Let's see here. Ooh. What would an NBA championship do for Jimmy Butler's legacy? If the Miami Heat won the championship this year, what would that do for Jimmy Butler? That put Jimmy Butler in a lot of great. That would put Jimmy Butler in some great discussions, man. That really would. That would yeah, man. That would that'd be interesting if Jimmy Butler won a title this year. Does he play shooting guard or small forward though? Because like, if he plays small forward, then he's definitely not in the LBJ, Larry Bird category. He's definitely not there. He's nowhere close to there. But could that put him ahead of a guy like, I don't know, let's say like a Paul Pierce, like I don't know, man, like someone like that. Could that put him in that type of discussion? I think that could an NBA championship. I think yeah. I think that could put Jimmy Butler in that type of discussion, to be honest with you. By the way, how many have one like, man? Hit that like button, man. You know what I mean? I know this is my first time saying it, and we're like 51 minutes in, but damn, guys, hit that damn like button, man. What the hell's going on here? Jimmy, yeah, I mean, that's why I said earlier that they should trade Tyler Hero, because I don't think Tyler Hero, I don't think he's a guy you can win a title with in your lineup. I could be wrong. He could prove me wrong though, but I don't think it's gonna happen with Tyler Hero in the lineup. I think they gotta move him for more of a two-way guy, to be honest with you. Okay, so let's move away from Jimmy Butler. You think Jimmy should have stayed with Embiid and the Sixers? You could say that. That's you could say that. I think maybe. I mean, Embiid does get hurt a lot though, so I can see why Jimmy wanted to leave. Because when it matters most, Embiid's body breaks down on him, and he's injury prone. So I don't know if Philly would have done anything. To be honest with you, Jimmy's great, but Jimmy and Miami, you gotta understand that it's a culture thing. There's a difference between Philadelphia's culture and Miami's culture. It's like a complete 180. It really is. Miami's culture, man. That's why Jimmy has been down there, because before Miami, you guys got to remember what the narrative about Jimmy Butler was, because a lot of this gets glossed over. Jimmy Butler was known as a coach killer, a team wrecker, a guy that requested a trade, and a guy that was a mouth content in the locker room. That's what Jimmy Butler was known at before he got to Miami. I mean, and I know that, I mean, winning and getting to the finals, that gloss over a lot of that stuff, but before Jimmy Butler went to Miami, that was the word on him. You know what I mean? Like, he was, because he requested a trade out of Minnesota way back when, and no one really wanted him. You know what I mean? Like, teams didn't really want to trade for him because they looked at him and said, okay, he's really good, he's talented, he's an all-star, but all this guy does is cause problems in the locker room. I mean, that's how teams looked at him. You know what I mean? That's not my opinion on him. That's how teams looked at him. So you guys got to remember that about Jimmy Butler. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it would have worked long term in Philly just because of that. I think Miami's perfect for him. I think Spoelstra keeps him under control, the Heat culture. You know what I mean? So, I don't think Butler would have won anything in Philly. That's just me though. Oh, here's a really good one. Do I think Kawhi Leonard should have stayed with the Toronto Raptors one more year? One more year. Yes, Kawhi Leonard should have stayed one more year in Toronto, because I think that was the bubble year, I believe, when the Lakers won the title. If Kawhi Leonard would have stayed one more year in Toronto, I think they would have won the title again. I think they would have went back to back. So yeah, I think he should have stayed one more year and then went to the Clippers. But I mean, it is what it is. He won a title there. He wanted to go back home. But if it was up to me, I think he should have stayed in Toronto for one more year. I think they would have won the title. Pat Riley just need to add another star with him. Yeah, I mean, Damian Lillard was begging to go there. You know what I mean? Like, Damian Lillard was literally like, please come get me, Miami, and they still couldn't land him. I don't think a lot of GMs want to do business with Pat Riley. That's just my gut feeling because Damian Lillard was a freaking layup for them. He was. He was sitting right there, literally begging to go to Miami, and they still wouldn't send him to Miami. You think about that. Damian Lillard, a guy that was important for what, 11 years, right? It was some big number like that. He asked him, he said, "Can you please trade me to Miami?" And they refused to trade him to Miami. You know what I mean? That was crazy. That was crazy. I mean, that whole scenario was insane. But yeah, yeah. That's pretty nuts to think about. That they couldn't land Damian Lillard. Um, Honestly, though, I don't know what stars become available though. I mean, Luca, but if Luca becomes available, I don't think Miami nearly has enough to get him. I don't think Miami has anywhere close to the package to get Luka Doncic. So unless they're giving up Bam Adebayo, and if you give up Bam, I think you would want to keep Bam to play with a guy like Luka. I don't think you would want to get Bam up in that deal. So I don't. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, maybe. But yeah, the fact that they couldn't get Damian Lillard was crazy because he was like, "Please send me there," and they still didn't send him there. Um. Okay. I would give up Triple J for a star if I was Miami. I would give up a star for him. I would. I would definitely give up a star player for him. He's nice, but I think he's one of them guys that he's already at his ceiling. You know what I mean? Like if I can get him for a star, like I remember the Lakers a few years ago didn't want to trade Kuzma for a star. They should have traded Kuzma for a star. I mean, they traded him for what? I think they traded him for Westbrook. I'm trying to think. What did they trade Kuzma for? Yeah, I think they traded him for Westbrook. If I'm not mistaken, yeah they traded Kuzma for Westbrook. Yeah, I think that's what happened. If my memory's correct. Yeah, that's what happened. Hey, they could have probably got something better for Kuzma than Russ. Uh, yeah, but I make that example because yeah, Miami should. Donovan Mitchell is interesting, right? That's another name that I think could be available this offseason. Because, yeah, Cleveland's winning, but is Mitchell really going to want to be in Cleveland long term? I don't believe so. Um, looking, see if there's anything else. We're almost at an hour. I didn't think I didn't think the stream would last an hour, but I got a lot of really good questions. I mean, I really don't care about the viewers or likes, like the views. I mean, like yeah, I care about the viewers, but one like, ugh, it is what it is, though. Okay. Okay. So this question right here says, since you like the WWE, who's your top 5 favorite WWE guys ever? My top 5 favorite WWE guys, man. I'll go. I'm not gonna go in any order with this. CM Punk, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock. Mmm. Mmm. I'm stuck on the last two. I love Kurt Angle. I'll put Kurt Angle there. Kurt Angle is fucking, especially Perk Angle. Perk Angle is nice. And then I'll say Cena. The hell with it. I'll say John Cena. Yeah, I'll say Cena. Okay, let's see here. Let's go with NBA. Let's try to find another NBA one. NBA one. Wait for this stupid thing to load. There we go. Okay. How many championships do I think Victor Wembanyama can win, and how soon do I think he can win one? All right, here's the thing with Victor. I already told you. I think Victor could be the greatest player of all time before earlier in the stream. I think that's definitely true. And how soon? How many championships and how soon do I think he'll win one? Well, first of all, winning an NBA championship is not guaranteed. I mean, let's just start that off right now. I mean, it's not a layup that he's gonna win one. He could, he probably will, but it's not a guarantee. So, but I'm actually gonna counter your question with another question, and I'll answer on my own, of course. Will the Spurs put the right pieces around Victor Wembanyama to win? As long as Popovich is the coach, because Popovich knows how to get the best out of a guy like Wembanyama, I think. As long as Popovich is the coach, I think the Spurs can put a contender around him. But Popovich is getting up there in age. How long will he be the coach for? How long will Greg Popovich be coaching for? I think that's the gazillion-dollar question there. Is how much longer will he coach for? Because if he's the coach, I think they'll put the right pieces around him eventually. But if he's not the coach, then it's a wild card. You mean, because let's be real, Popovich runs that entire organization. You know what I mean? I know they got a GM technically, but it's Popovich, man. Popovich is the one making all the calls. You know what I mean? It's him. It ain't the GM. So, I mean, as long as Popovich is there for the long run, I think they can put a contender around him. But if he's not, then it gets dicey, and then it becomes a wild card. Yeah, Popovich one of them lifers, man. I don't think Popovich is ever gonna walk away. I think he'll go until he literally can't go anymore. I mean, I think he'll keep coaching for sure. So in that case, if he's there forever, then I think they'll put the right piece around Wembanyama. But if he's not, then I don't know. You know, what I mean, it's a wild card. Okay, answer that one about Wemby. I'm not going to give you a number on the championships because it's hard enough winning one. You know what I mean? Okay. Let's see here. I'll answer one more question and I'm going to shut the stream down. One more question. I want this to be a good one too. I'm a Celtics fan, so we might as well just end the stream with a Celtic question. If the Celtics don't win the championship this year, like if they lose in the Eastern Conference Finals or lose in the NBA Finals, should they split up the Jays? Oh man, there's a lot of layers to that question because obviously we don't know yet because obviously they're not going to get rid of Tatum. Let's just start that off. Tatum's going to sign the Supermax this offseason with the Celtics. I don't think Tatum's ever going to go anywhere, so they're not getting rid of Tatum. I'm just going to say that on Front Street right now. Tatum's going to be there forever, I think. I don't think he's going to ever leave the Celtics. That's just me. But Jaylen Brown, I could see the Celtics trading him this offseason if we don't win. I could easily see that. I could see, especially if a big time player becomes available. I could see that. I could see the Celtics dangling Jaylen Brown for a better player. I could see that if we don't win the title. I could definitely see us moving off Jalen Brown if we don't win this year, especially if Jalen Brown once again underperforms because he got a big contract in the offseason. It was like I think it was 300 million, or something like that. It was a big number. So yeah, I think we'll win. I think we definitely move off Jalen, man. I think that could happen. Do I think it will? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna tell you no. I think the Celtics stick with it even if they don't win this year, but it becomes more a possibility if they don't win for sure of them moving Jalen Brown. But yeah, man, I'm gonna cap it off there, man. Let me know what you guys think about this, man. I just wanted to come on here. It's been a long, long, long time since I did one of these live streams, so I just wanted to come on here, try it out, see if I liked it or not, and who knows, maybe one day I'll do this again. But okay, not a good question, Ella, but I think they built the ceiling Jays this year. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, this is a huge year for them, definitely. Ben Simmons. This is a massive year for Tatum and Brown to get it done because there's they have no excuses. I'm a Celtics fan. If they don't win this year, I'm gonna come on here and destroy them because they don't got any excuses. They don't. There's zero excuses. Literally, build a freaking super team. It's a super team. You got Drew Holiday. You got Derek White. You got Porzingis around you. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing you could say. They got the team to do it. They just got to go out there and get it done. It's on them, guys. To deliver the good for the Celtics. So it's on them. But yeah, know what you guys think about this, man. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, man. Maybe I'll come on here again in the near future, but I just want to come on here, check in. I answered it was a lot of questions that I answered, but let me know what you guys think about it, man. Alright, peace.